Good morning. Sorry, I was having trouble getting into this stream, but I'm here now. It wanted me to go this way, but I wanted to go landscape, and I think I finally cracked the code. So, good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from Temple of Balance, and this is our personal healing event for patrons, July 2023. For July 2023. So I've got 5 people on my healing list today, and I've popped your names into this little bowl, and I'm going to pull your name out randomly. And so I'll be spending around 10 minutes connecting with each person individually. I'm going to work in conjunction with my healing energy cards. So I'll pull a card at the beginning of the connection, and I'll pull a card at the end of each connection as well. So if I'm connecting with you, if you're on my healing list for today, I look forward to connecting with you for one, and two, I recommend that you be try and keep yourself open to receiving what you need from the time that we spend together today. So I trust in the connection that's made, and I trust that whatever's loudest in your energy is going to get my attention first. And so I interpret that impression as best as I can. And I know that I know if I'm kind of getting it at least closely right, because the energy will keep moving. If it gets stuck, if I feel it sticking a bit and things are not quite moving, then I need to look at that energy from another angle, or the impression that I'm getting from another angle. Hi, Sherry. Lovely to see you. So I trust in the unfolding as I'm connecting with you, and I trust in the journey as it as it unfolds. I don't have any I haven't premeditated or pre-planned or pre-connected or anything with those of you on my list today. It's best if I tune in the moment and let it unfold and let it uncover itself. So I trust that what I share as I connect with you resonates, and you can work with that to help support your healing and your movement through whatever you're going through at this time in your life. Now, if you're waiting for your turn, or you're not on my healing list today, it's okay. What I would be doing if I was listening and waiting for my turn, what's happening? What's happening now? This is our healing event for patrons, if that's what you mean. But welcome, Sherry. So if you're not on my healing list, or you're waiting for your turn, and what I would do if I was waiting for my turn is I'd make sure that I'm listening to what's being said, because there are often connections with other connections with other connections I'm making with people can also be a part of the journey as to why you're here. And I've seen this for many years, time and time and time again, that I can be focused on one specific person, then a bunch of other people will message me. Hi, Jane. A bunch of other people will message me and say, hey, it felt like you were talking directly to me. And it just seems to be all connected. I recommend that you still be open to listening and receiving what you need. So how I would do that is I would be taking some big deep breaths. I'd have my journal handy. I'd be listening with my ears, but I'd also be listening with my heart and listening with my body, and see what my body responds to, or what stirs my body up. What have I just been talking about that comes out in something? I'll be writing all that sort of stuff down. So you can dive really deeply into this journey today. Don't feel restricted, or that you're being shut out because I'm focused on a specific person. So the way I connect is, it might sound weird, but I imagine that I'm you. This works for me. It's worked for me for over 18 years now, and I trust that connection. So I know what my energy feels like. I know, sitting here being myself, I know what the configuration of me feels like. And what I've noticed is, as I connect with a person, uh, as I connect with a person, I notice that I start feeling new things happening in my body. So I imagine that I become that person I'm connecting with, and I feel what feels different in my body that I don't usually feel as I'm connecting with that particular person. So that's one of the big ways that I connect. And also I just allow the visuals to come in, and my intuition also to journey forward with the flowing, the unfolding of the connection. I don't take on other people's stuff. I learnt not to do that a long time ago. So once the connection's over, then that is the detachment's made, and then I'm in my space, and then I connect with the next person. The healing energy cards are really important with that too, because the first one sort of marks that connection. The last card I pull also marks the detachment, if you like. So let's see who's first. I'm going to grab some water. So first person on my list today. Welcome everybody. And I'm really looking forward to this. Let's grab this person. First today is Nicki Mohler. Nicki, please take a nice big breath. Okay, and let's see what's loudest in your vibration today. So the first thing I'm picking up just as soon as I connect is something's happening here in the heart. I can't quite pinpoint exactly how to describe it yet, but there is energy stirring in the heart. It feels a little uncomfortable. It also feels a little heavy, and perhaps a word like numb is coming to mind. It feels a little numb, or a little, yeah, I guess numb's the best word for now. Almost like you put, when you put like a numbing gel or something on an area of your skin, or you're having a tooth pulled and they put the numbing agent in your mouth, or injection. It feels a bit like that, so maybe numb is the best word. But let's grab a card and then I'll look a bit deeper into this, Nicki. So your card is this from the Healing Energy Cards 2 deck, my new one. And we have card 87, Incoming Clarity. It's in the Rise category. And down here it says, a new level of thinking. Open your mind, be patient, clarity is coming. Trust in perfect timing, creative thinking, remain curious, and positivity. So it feels like something wants to clear in your mind. And actually, as I feel that too, I can feel a heaviness coming in around your mind. So, okay, Nicki, take a nice big breath. Okay, so I'm being drawn and very aware of this energy here at your heart. And it does feel a bit numb here, is the feeling. Like a numbing cream has been rubbed all over your heart. Not only on the outside, but it's soaked into the inside. As I'm talking about that, there's energy that wants to shift in the throat. So I feel like there's something that needs to be cleared or spoken or said. And it could be something that you need to say or express yourself that will unnumb your heart as well, if you're ready to unnumb that or reverse the numbing of that, to waken up. Yeah, because what's the opposite of a numb area? It's sort of, I guess, like an awakening of sorts, getting life back in there again, a rebooting of the energy here in your heart. But there is something that wants to shift and come out through your voice, through your throat, an expression of sorts. So maybe there's air to clear. Maybe there's something that you might find helpful, Nicki, to tap into your heart and explore that numbness. What is it? Why do you feel it? And maybe ask yourself a bunch of questions around this, because that's a part of getting this energy moving. That's what the expression energy wants to do. It wants to get the energy moving. And a numb energy feels a bit stuck. It feels almost, yeah, like a stuck energy. So the expression wants to get this moving. There's energy coming in around your head as well, like a compression through here, like you've got this helmet over your head that feels quite tight and quite close and quite constrictive here on a mental level. So, and there's a visor that's coming down over your eyes, and the visor feels like it's like shaded somehow, and it's distorting what you're seeing because you're looking through this visor. So you might feel lately that you haven't been seeing things as clearly as you could be. So what I want to do first of all is lift up this visor and allow your eyes to see to see how things really are, to see the reality of what's around you. And it feels to be, this coming to terms with things, this sense of finding acceptance about things that have happened, and this the truth of the reality. I feel like this is important. Now, as this visor's lifted, it's also sort of feels like it's loosened this helmet. So I want to pull this off and really sort of gently just place it down onto the ground. And as I place it to the ground, it just soaks into the earth and returns back to love. Now, as this helmet is also removed, so the visor was attached to the helmet. The helmet is a compression in the mind, so it could be worry, fear, stressful things that are occupying your mind that you're struggling to shift or get away from. This is directly connected with this visor that has been casting perhaps a false light over what you're seeing. So it's been mentally driven, this visor energy as well. So I think that's just important to note. So with this energy cleared, the visor lifted, the helmet gone, you're already feeling more open, like it's almost like energies wanting to come out of your head, like whooshes of cloud that are sort of coming out and lifting up like this. And I feel like it's wanting to open up and move, like move the clouds, move the stuff that's been hovering and hanging and been difficult to shake on a mental level, to get this moving. And it almost feels like breathing, like the rhythm, the pulsation of a breath. So as you do this, it's almost feeling to me like you're getting back into your body. So when we're very heavy in the mind, like that, like this energy from just before that we've just moved, it does need to be fed. So it tends to draw energy out up through the body to feed the stress and whatever's going on a mental level. So with that shifted now, it's like the energy from the body's coming up and really helping open up your mind and clear the pressure that's been hovering on a mental level. Now I'm being drawn back to your throat, and I can feel this energy lift up, a very similar feeling like this. It almost feels like cloud or breath that's sort of coming up in this rhythm, and it's now coming up from your heart and up through your throat, and it's wanting to be expressed. It wants to move the energy that's been numb in your heart. So letting yourself feel it, letting yourself express it, letting yourself move through the myriad of emotion that's tied in with this numbness of your heart that I've been feeling originally here. Now, the numbing of the heart is starting to shift. There's a bit of a push of an ache that's coming through the numbness, and actually that's interesting because, I think, okay, we're putting a numbing cream on, deep heat or something. Perhaps if we've got an aching muscle, we might put some numbing cream on to sort of help take the ache out of our body or the ache out of our joints or whatever it might be. So I think of this numbing cream or this numbness in your heart, and I feel like it's covering something. It's wanting to take the ache out of your heart. And I can feel like the numbing cream or the numbness here in your heart is starting to fade a little bit. It's starting to wear thin, if you like. And I can feel this ache that pushes from really deep in your heart, this ache that pushes forward like a hernia or something, but something that feels like it sort of has grown from really deep in your heart, that's wanting to push out like an ache. And putting this numbness over your heart is helping you manage that ache. But as the numbing agent or the numbness is thinning out, the ache is pushing forward, and it's pushing forward like something that wants to push out through the heart. And I use the hernia sort of thing as an example because that's sort of the thing that comes to mind, is this pushing of an ache that's deep inside. It's like a really fast growing mountain, and the mountain's growing out of the heart, and it wants to push through, and it feels like it's almost unbearable at times, the scope and the largeness and the ache of this that's growing. So I I understand why you've needed to numb your heart to be able to cope with the ache and the pain that's it's not even pulsating, it's just getting bigger and louder and more uncomfortable. So okay, so now we need to just look at how we can help start resolving this ache. And what I feel like I want to do, Nikki, is just hold you in support and love here, and really put my hands really firmly on your heart, and hold you in love and hold you in support and comfort. And maybe it is support and comfort and love that will guide you through the up and down times as you work your way through the achiness and the numbness here of your heart. And one of the keys has to be this expression and letting it rise up and out through your throat, and finding a way to express yourself, finding a way to get the energy, keep the energy moving so it doesn't sort of sit and become stagnant. So keep the energy moving, keep expressing yourself. You might find it helpful to maybe helping others is a way of you expressing and releasing some of this ache that's stored so deeply in your heart. Maybe creating things or making things or fiddling with things, some crafty things, something to help you express. And then when you're ready, perhaps writing about what's happened and the numbness and the aching here deep in your heart. Because I feel like this is a really important step now on your healing journey, and your journey towards and your journey healing. And it's not towards healing because it is healing now. So I feel like this healing journey that you're walking at, I see it as like stepping stones, and they're like stepping stones, like literally stones that are like stepping stones of stones. And I see you stepping along this healing journey. And this is a part of that journey that you're walking through at this time. And some of the steps are going to be difficult, and some of the steps aren't going to be as difficult as others. But it feels like perhaps there's something here that's almost stopping you in a step. And if you can look into it, and if you can be honest about how you feel, and if you can let the ache come to the surface as much as you can manage. And because I feel like it wants to come out the front, but it wants to come out the front to try and get the attention. It's a bit like a mountain growing out the front of your heart. But actually it wants to grow up into your throat, and it wants to go up here and it be expressed and released. And then it becomes a bit more like a volcano. The volcano, instead of a mountain growing out and it's just growing, and who knows how big it's going to get and how painful as it tries to push through and break through your skin and your chest. But I feel like as the energy shifts, as your perspective shifts, it actually grows up more like a volcano. And the throat, the expression here, that's like the release of the gases and the pressure that's been building under this volcano, under this piece of mountain. So yeah, sitting in with this, I feel, is going to help it come up and out and help you move through and process. I trust this makes sense, Nikki. Let's pop your card Incoming Clarity back in, and I'm going to pull a card to finish this up. So what do we need to know here as we finish up and tie up this connection for you, Nikki, is what I'm asking the cards. And the best card is this from the first deck here. Enchantment. This is card 1 of all the 110 cards in the deck. Card 1. So this is the beginning of something now. This is the beginning of a new journey. It says walk lightly, lighten up, grounding. So connect with nature, connect with your body, contemplate potential new beginnings and what's next. Consider your dreams and fantasy. So there's a bit of a dreamy fantasy element, an enchanting element to this card as well. But there's also a sort of withdrawal feeling as you, represented by this figure, retreat into the trunk of a tree, and you're sitting in there on a bed of crystals, looking directly into the unknown, directly into that numbness. And it's interesting too that these eyes with the visor lifted, allowing you to see. So I'll leave that with you. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks for your support, and I trust this supports and resonates with you. Namaste. Okay, thanks, Nikki. Let's pop that card back in the deck and go to the next person. Hermit mode, yes. Yes, indeed. Carol White. Carol, please take a nice big breath and let's see which card wants to come up for you today. So the best card for you for now, Carol, is this from the original deck. It's here, Blossoming, card 34. Okay, so this is blossoming. This is coming out of your shell. There's action in this card as well. There's also some discomfort. This is like, you know, the caterpillar in the cocoon and it's transforming into a butterfly. And I imagine because it's going through such a physical change that it's been ripped apart to be put back together again in a new physical way, a new physical configuration. So this card does tend to bring up with it some physical discomfort as you grow. But there is blossoming, there is action, there is upliftment too in this particular card. It's time to activate who you truly are and let it shine. And I feel that this is a part of your journey right now too, Carol, is this sort of pushing yourself in new ways. But it's almost in new beautiful ways, new softer ways than before. It's like moving out of the harsh world that you lived in for a lot of years, the harsh, more masculine, independent person that you had to be that was quite chiseled and a bit, you know, I'm seeing chiseled like a statue at times, whereas there's something softer that wants to come in. I feel you moving a bit away from the chiseledness, the stark edges, the sharpness, the coldness in some ways that you had to be to cope in the roles that you played. I feel like you're moving away from that, and I feel like you're transforming, like if that was your caterpillar stage and you're transforming into the butterfly stage, and it feels softer. In fact, the energies feel a little bit similar. It could be like this big juicy but quite chiseled out caterpillar as this person that you've been your, well, most of your life, and that you're moving over. And I keep wanting to move from the right to the left and moving over to the left where you're softening now, and I can feel this sort of sensuous, sensual, you know, beautiful curves and softness, and there's something softer, a bit more feminine that wants to awaken in you. And I feel like my body wants to lean over to this left side, the left side of your feminine side that's wanting to emerge. I feel soft flowing dresses and beautiful colors and this sort of thing, and a softness to your face and a softness to you. And almost like there's a relief feeling too, because I feel instead of the energy feeling a bit uptight on this other side, there's like, oh, I can breathe out again. So if I could connect in too with these opposites, it's like the energy on the right, who you were and who you were in the past, feels like a breath in and then sort of hold it, like it feels sort of that, whereas the other side, the left that you're being pulled over to, is more like the breath out now, the relief, the release, the release of tension. It's softer over here. It feels brighter too. It feels like it's really enticing you, and you're moving out of this world of chiseledness and independence and that real masculine structure kind of way. And it's not like you're leaving all that behind, because a part of it is part of who you are. But I feel like the dominance of that part of yourself and part of your world is softening and is transitioning over to this softer version, softer, more sensitive, more creative perhaps as well in some ways. But she feels a bit more moldable. She feels a bit more like we could push and mold, maybe a little bit more like a soft clay or something, whereas this other side feels very chiseled and stone-like. So I feel like you're moving away from who you trained yourself to be through your life experiences and the people you were around and the roles that you played in your life for pretty much most of your life. And this is the transformation. This is you moving from the caterpillar into the butterfly stage. and this transformation that you're going through. So how that translates into your body, let's just check in. So I'm feeling definitely a pull here to the left, like you're moving out of this room or out of this mode and into this other mode, still carrying with you the parts that need to remain so that you can balance and bring these two elements together. So there's a pull over here. I feel the pull all across your left side. So from even the left side of your head, if I could draw a line sort of down your spine, extending up into your head, if I could draw a line down here, your whole left side is being pulled over here. So your left leg, the left side of your torso, your left arm, the left side of your head, all being pulled over here very, very strongly. So this pull across. So you can trust that pull. The energy here on the right feels a little heavy and almost a little dead through here. Like it feels tired. It almost feels like you're dragging this side along. So I feel like there's shifts that are happening in your life. There are shifts that are happening in your body. And you're probably working out your balance and working out, what do you want now moving forward? Who are you moving forward? And that you may be really questioning who you are at this time as well, Carol, as you're working out where you've come from, who you were in the past, but who you want to be now in this new next phase of your life. And it feels quite exciting, but also quite deeply questioning as well, like, who are you now? Or who are you becoming? Who do you want to be? There's this sort of, really quite deep questions that I feel that you're probably asking yourself, or you've probably got sitting somewhere deep in your being, because this side is calling you now. And there is a grief almost feeling of the other side in some ways, but like a goodbye to that part of your life and that part of yourself. It does feel like a slight amount of grief here, but I feel like the pull to the other side is so strong that there might not really be a lot of grief around here. So it's like saying goodbye and then moving forward, like a springboarding, spiraling out of here and projecting through here. And the spiraling out's interesting. Spiraling out of a tight place and out into an open road or an open path before you. So that's what I'm feeling for you today, Carol. I trust that resonates. Let's grab another card, see what that wants to add here. So nice big breath, and the best card to add at this point for you, Carol, is this. Yeah. Spirit message card 12. It's in center, in neutral. It says, pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities. Your intuition is awakening, and the intuition is very much aligned with that softer energy. Listen to the guidance within, and your spiritual team supports you. I feel like you're going, or you're preparing to go to somewhere pretty interesting in your life, Carol, and it may not have completely revealed itself yet. In fact, I'll be very surprised if it has, because I feel like all these little gold lines and paths and marks here, I feel like these are all potentials that are wanting to open up. Potentials that this open path in front of you, just slightly to the left, can reveal. The tightness of this other path, I feel it's worn out now. It's like done. It's done its job. It's done its role in your life, and there's a lot to be grateful for it. Grateful too for it as well. It's been just what you needed, and now you're propelling out of there. It's like it's spring. The spring's loaded, and the spring is propelling you out. It's like the build up of a momentum, of a spring of some sort that's now projecting you into this new open path, and it's just open right there in front of you. So these are the possibilities as well, the potentials, but a lot of support from spirit as you take the plunge. And you leave a part of your old self behind. And that's probably one of the most difficult parts in some ways, figuring out what it is that needs to be left behind. So thanks, Carol. Thanks for your support, and I trust this resonates. Thank you so much. Namaste. Okay, I'll just have a sip of water. And I have 3 more people on the list today. So next person is this person. It's KantiDevi Wedad. Thank you so much. Take a nice big breath and let us see. Oh, I feel like there's energy moving, like what? Little dancy bugs, a movement, a shimmy, belly dancing. There's like this energy that wants to move in your body. Oh, yes. There's energy that wants to move all through your body, and it feels a bit like a belly dancing kind of, just really soft rhythm all throughout. I see the arms extending out and the neck and the head moving and the arms, the legs. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. So there's like this inner sort of movement that wants to do something. Let's have a look in a minute. I'll grab this card first. Healing Energy Cards 1. Third Eye Opening. It's in the Rise category here. And it says Deep Opening. Healing trust issues. Awakening your intuition. Trust in the flow of life and trust in self. Pass through the doorway. Overcome obstacles. There's an initiation sort of feeling with this card, like you're being pulled across the surface of the water here, or the iced over water, or whatever that sort of seems like, but being pulled through here to this sort of island, this stag island, and over through to here, and then through the gateway of these antlers here and into yourself. So that's interesting. Doorway. All right. Okay, Kanti. Okay, so this moving energy, there's something that's celebratory inside you, something that's you're grateful for, that you're celebrating, something that's complete, something that's done, something that you're ready now to take out into the world. And I see your hands kind of moving and dancing. There's like a rhythm, like there's your own song, your own heartbeat. The heartbeat feels very drum-like. And very earthy. So, I'm thinking, okay, the rhythm of a drum. It doesn't feel like the rhythm of a drum. And I think we've got a natural kind of drum rhythm inside all of us just because of our heartbeat. But there is something a little more uplifting. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I love drums and I love the heartbeat. But there is something a bit lighter in this movement that I'm feeling. It's a bit more like maybe someone jingling some bells, or there's a shaky bell sort of feeling here, and it sort of feels like it's like your body wants to move. There's a vibration that it's kind of resonating with and moving with that feels, the best dancey move I can feel that feels similar is like a belly dancing move. And this is waking something up inside you, Kanti, and it feels like it's waking up from deep inside your belly, like a power, and maybe power is perhaps the best word here that I can find. A power that's rising inside and lifting up from your belly, and it's lifting up through your spine here, through the front of your body, and lifting all the way up, and it's continuing up. There's energy that wants to come out here at your third eye chakra, like 2 beams of light that are coming out, like a prism that wants to open up here on your third eye. So there's energy shifting here as you trust more in your intuition, and you trust more in your body, and you trust more in what you're hearing, what you're feeling, what you're sensing. I feel like something's really awakened on an intuitive level for you. And then the energy continues to go up past your third eye and up to your crown, and up here at your crown it just bursts out like fireworks, like sparks of light, but intense fireworks, like really concentrated, almost like the explosion of a volcano, but more sparkly and more firework like, and it's exploding just really concentrated, but also really beautifully outside or out from your crown chakra, and it's sort of lifting up maybe a foot or 2 into the air, and then it's coming down and it's dropping all these sort of sparkles of light all over your body. So it seems to come up and around and then sort of feel your aura here with this sparkling, really fiery sparks of light. So it's come up and it's risen up from inside you, a bit like the phoenix, but I don't see a phoenix, but it's the same sort of feeling, really lifting up, bursting out a bit like a prism here, and then up and around, and then dropping all over you like sparks of light. So these sparks of light, they sort of shower over you all the way down the outside of your body, and they come to collect on the ground, and it's like you're now standing in, it looks like a pool of gold, so like liquid gold that's pooled up, and it's shiny, and it's, you're just standing here in this liquid gold. It's maybe about an inch thick, and it's just slightly, your feet are slightly in this, and I feel like this is also activating something here at your feet that to help you stay grounded, but also very practical in what you're doing. So practical and real life, real things, in a practical, real, physical manner. You know, sometimes when we're awakening, it can be very airy fairy, very spiritual. It could be a big gap between the physical comprehension of something and the spiritual reality of something, but reality is probably not even quite the right word. It feels a bit like fantasy in some ways. There can be such a big gap, but there's something that feels the opposite here for you, Kanti. Like there's something very practical and real that you're connecting with that actually helps in the physical and helps in the physical reality of your life and potentially others that you might be going out to help. And sending out. So this feels like an awakening of sorts that you're going through, and I feel like it's very physical, like very physically felt in your body. So you might feel like you're not really sleeping much. You might feel like you have a lot of energy at this time. So keep drinking lots of water, keep working your way through as you feel you need to. Maybe dance and listen to some music and really help yourself embody this energy into your body so it becomes practical and it becomes anchored and grounded in your physical reality, so that then you can take it out and help others in a very physical way. So let's grab a card to finish this connection off for you, Kanti. What will it be? Let's see. Okay, the best card to add here is, we're going to go straight to this card from the original deck. Here, Breaking Free, card 41. It's also in the Rise category, and it says stretch past your limitations and into new territory. The unknown, break through, move outside the box, push yourself out of your comfort zone. So if things have been feeling compressed or like you're boxed in, and like, you know, I see this card here as like if a plant could grow in a box, let's say, or let's say it was a glass box, a glass box. Yes, it is, but spiritual reality is real, absolutely. But for people who aren't spiritual, it's very fantasy land. So it's more like bringing the spirituality into the physical and practical way that speaks to the non-spiritual people as well as the spiritual. That's sort of what I meant, but thank you for asking that, Sherry. So yeah, how I feel with this card is like if we were a plant growing and growing and growing, or even a baby growing in our mother's tummy, and there's lots of room, so we're growing and we're growing and we're growing, and then there reaches a point where there's no more room to grow anymore. The womb is full, the box is full, we can't grow. If we were a tree, we can't grow out further than this box unless we break the box down. We can't grow further than this womb unless we break free of the womb and the space that's trying to contain our growth. So there is a feeling with this card of breaking free from the confines that served and supported and protected us while we grew in our most vulnerable phase. But when we get to that point where we're ready to leave the nest, we're ready to vacate the womb, we're ready to burst outside this box, then this is the breaking down of that barrier now, that area of containment. So moving forward, Kanti, what's been containing you? What has been your safe place of containment, of learning, of growing? and maybe you're moving to a point now where you're getting ready to break that containment down, almost like a bird leaving the nest, as well. There's sort of a leaving the nest sort of feeling, leaving the comfort and support and the protection that was necessary at the beginning and necessary up till now. But now the time is coming where you're ready to break free and break through and move into the unknown and out of your comfort zone. So you can grow, so you can experience and take the theory into practice kind of feeling. So thanks, Kanti. Thanks for your support. Namaste. Okie dokie. We have 2 more people on the list. So I'm going to have another sip of water. And let us see who's next. Next person is this person. It's Jane Corlett. Welcome, Jane. Thank you for your support. Let's see which card you need to start this connection. Okay, so the energy that I'm picking up as I'm starting here, as I'm tuning into you, Jane, is a pressure at the back of your head and a sickly feeling here in the belly as well. So they're the things getting my attention at this time. But let's grab your card here. Healing energy card number 1, abundance. Well, this is a nice card to get. So this is abundance. It's in the neutral category, so it's in center, and it says abundance and good things in all forms. Positive thoughts, opportunities, be open to receiving what you need, giving, receiving, and flow. So this is being in good flow. This is what abundance is. When we are in good flow, we are abundant because things are working out, things are flowing. And it's not like we're not still facing challenges. It's just that we seem to be able to better deal with them when we're in the flow, when we're in that abundant state. So this feels really nice and uplifting. I really love having this sitting here too, because I can feel the energy of it actually moving over into your heart here, Jane. And the both sides of the chalice, it's like 2 overflowing bowls here, or chalices. I can feel them coming in and really impressing here on your heart, almost like on both sides here of your chest, of your heart. So there's abundance that's coming in, and as abundance comes in, I feel like it's pushing energy out. So energy's coming into your heart, and it's pushing, as it's coming in, it's pushing and squishing out the other energy that doesn't need to be there. So I'm feeling the energy pushing down through the lower part of your body, so from your heart down, very much your solar plexus and your sacral chakras as well here, that there's a pushing down feeling, and it feels like a really thin, muddy, watery energy. So this is most likely connected with emotional energy, old emotions from the past that are a bit stifling and maybe a little suffocating, a little consuming at times. And I can feel the abundance as it comes in. It pushes this energy down. It's like having a sponge full of dirty water, and this energy pushing down is like the squeezing of it out. So it's being squeezed out, like we're squeezing it out and down, and it's moving down your hips and down your legs. And as the energy's moving down, it's very sludgy. As it's moving down, it's also collecting more of the sludgy stuff. And it's becoming more sludgy as it comes down. From the beginning part here, from your heart, it felt quite liquidy, so very watery. And now as it's going down past your hips, it's very sludgy. But it's being pushed down. There's no room for it to remain. It's getting pushed. It's being squeezed out. There's a uncomfortable energy that's a feeling here in your sacral chakra, just below your navel, especially on the left side. This is your emotional center. So there's energy that's stirring up in here as we're pushing this energy out. And also at your lower back, which is also the back of your sacral chakra, so old emotional energy. So be willing really now, Jane, to let yourself release and let go of the sludginess, the toxicity, the past stuff that's been holding you back. And as it pushes down. So as I was talking, it feels like it's sort of sitting just below the hips and now pushing this down, like we're squeezing out a sponge and just letting this energy move down your legs and down, and now it starts dripping out through the soles of your feet, right in the middle of the soles of your feet, dripping out and down into the earth, as it's kind of just weeping out is what the feeling is, just weeping out quite slowly as it weeps out and sort of drips down into the earth and returns back to love. And just continuing to let this energy move down. So feel it move down and feel it move out of your body. But as it moves down, as it moves out, it's being replaced with the abundant energy that's coming in. So this energy that's coming in, it feels a little bit more sparkly, feels still quite liquidy, especially as it's in your body, not quite as liquidy as it's coming to your body. As it's coming to, it feels more like maybe like starlight, like really fine fragments of starlight, really condensed, coming at your heart. And then in your body, it feels more liquidy, maybe a bit more sparkly, like champagne, a little bit more watery as it pushes down and pushes that energy out. And now just squeezing the last bits out so I can feel this sparkly, abundant energy, the flow, that high energy that's come in. I can feel that down at your knees now and really squashing down and releasing out that heavier, sludgy energy that's now moving down from your knees. And the last of it's now moving out through your feet as you let go. And just letting the last of that go. And now that sparkly energy, that flow, that abundance now fills up your feet and starts filling up your body. So as it pushed the energy out, it's now filling you up, like we're filling you up like you were an empty cylinder with this sparkly champagne-y like energy. It's very golden and quite pinky as well, quite soft and pinky, but also golden, as it fills you up like you're an empty cylinder, up to your knees, up to your hips, and all the way through your torso, all the way up to your heart. And this energy seems to release from the heart and stop at the heart, which is interesting. So it just stops here, like you've got a shoulderless dress on. It sort of feels like it just sort of stops here under your arms. So now there's energy coming down from above, and this feels more silvery in its energy and less sparkly, but more like silvery streams of light coming down, like a tunnel, a beam of silvery energy coming down into your crown. As it comes down into your crown, it's also pushing sludgy energy, especially mental energy and feelings of disconnection or separation or feeling alone, pushing that down as it, and that sort of replaces it. So we're doing a similar thing to before, but we're coming now down from the top and it's more silvery. So clearing out through your head, and especially that area that feels quite heavy at your the base of your skull, which is old trust issues from the past, feelings of insecurity, perhaps about yourself as well, pushing that down. And then also down your shoulders. Now your shoulders are where you hold your burdens, and now the energy splits and it comes down and it pushes through your shoulders and out your arms, or down your arms first and then out your arms, pushing all the old energy out through your arms or through your fingertips, and replacing it with this silvery light. And this silvery light just sort of stops at the top of your heart, and the golden light stops at the top of your heart. And this is sort of like a meeting point, if you like. And here I feel both of these energies now start to sort of overlap or fuse into each other. Kind of the distinction between them starts to soften as one bleeds into the other, and they start to soften that line, that edge of your heart that maybe sometimes feels a bit sharp or a little bit too black and white. So there's a blending here of the lines, but it doesn't bleed all the way through. It's just the lines blending. And this is shifting energy here in your throat too, that wants to shift up and wants to shift out for you, Jane. Also from your heart, up and out. So as you express and communicate what needs to be expressed, really in this balanced way. And we can look at the golden light and the silver light as also elements of the masculine and the feminine, or the yin, the yang. So the silvery light from that's come down to the upper part of your body is usually quite the feminine yin energy, and the golden energy that we've connected with from your heart and below, that feels more masculine or yang in its feeling here. And both are just as good as the other. It's the balance, it's the both sides of the one coin that are really important. So I feel this general sense of balance that's coming in. And I feel also this pull towards, and maybe you've been exploring this, your connection to spirit and your connection to earth. Because I feel that heaven on earth, or spirit and matter, are important in the way this energy's come in. So I wouldn't be surprised, Jane, if you're exploring that, the relationship between your spirituality and your physicality and vice versa, to help bring your connections on that sort of vertical axis. So that's what I'm feeling, Jane. Let's grab another card here and see what this wants to add. So thank you. Take a nice big breath. And the best card to tie this up for you now is, let's go with this card. Another one from the original deck here. Ah, yes, New Vibration, card 38. This is also in neutral, and this is a fetus here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a fetus, it's a seed. It's a seed, and it's being fed with golden energy from below and golden energy from above, and it's got silvery energy around it. It's also got very strong roots here. So very strong grounded element to balance the higher vibrations of the silver and gold that's coming in. Now, the seed represents new, the new that's coming into your life, that new that you're brewing within you, the ideas that you're sprouting and taking to the next level. It says here that keep your idea rooted in reality. Ground, connect, new vibrations coming in. You are the one who must do the action, the nurturing, and follow through. So there's a practicality element as well to this card, but also a very heightened spirituality as well. So bringing those energies together and balancing those is probably quite important for you at this time, Jane. So I love that. And the silvery and gold element in there as well are cool. And that's right. As I look closer, it's years since I drew this, 2009, I think. But actually, I think from memory, I used a silver and a gold pencil in this pattern around here, alternating. And I can just make that out. So that's also bringing a connection to that energy. So it might be helpful for you to work with silvery and gold energy and see how they want to work together for you, Jane. So thank you so much. I trust this resonates and supports you, and thank you for your support. Thanks, Jane. Namaste. Okay, so that means last but certainly not least is Susan Sonsteng. So Susan, please take a nice big breath, and let's see which card wants to come up for you today and what we're going to do with you. Okay, nice big breath. Okay, Susan, your best card is this. Another one from the original deck. And it's Spiritual Surgery, card 46. It's in the rest category. And this is very much about healing in your healing on a physical level. So your physical body. It could also be healing like issues that you've been holding on to or issues that you've been dealing with. But this is very much usually aligned with the physical body. So deep healing, energetic healing for your body, blockages and pain. Relax and allow healing to take place. Self-healing, support your body. So it's interesting. It's a drawing of, if this is you here, and this is like a spiritual surgeon, a spiritual being coming over and healing you. And I can feel them coming in, this really strong presence coming in and just enveloping you with healing. So let's tune in here, Susan, and see what's going on. First of all, so I can feel this energy coming in, but I can also feel you being pinned down. So you're being pinned down, and it's like you're being pinned down from your shoulders. If your shoulders had a pin, a massive pin or sticks or something, but really long pins that went from your shoulders and into the ground. So they're as longer than your body, but these are pins and they're pinning you down. And I feel like in some ways you need to be pinned down right now. maybe to stop, maybe to receive, maybe to see how things really are, or to jolt you into something that you need to be jolted into. I'm not really sure why at this point anyway, but I feel like you need to be pinned down. So your shoulders are pinned down, and it's equivalent to maybe someone standing behind you and holding your shoulders down in position. It's going to be okay. It feels like maybe a little bit bumpy, so you need to be pinned down. It could also be like, sometimes during difficult periods in our life, we need certain anchor points or certain things. It could be little rituals that we do, even just like brushing our teeth or cooking a meal if we have time for that, when we're really going through a difficult one-off sort of time period. So this pinning down is also keeping you in the physical. It's pinning you down to the ground, and this feels to be important. So you're being pinned down. I feel these pins to be white. It's almost like you've got crutches, like a set of crutches under your arm, let's say. But it's more like a pin, and they're white and they're straight, like white pieces of pin, but more at your shoulders. You've got the spiritual surgeon here coming around you, and he's doing some work here on the front of your body. So his name's Marion. This is my spiritual surgeon, and he's coming in around from behind, and he's working here on the front of you. It's almost like your whole chest is open, like an open surgery sort of thing. So it feels like from your collarbone here all the way down to just below your navel is like cut open and pulled open, and he's working on your organs and working on things in here. I feel like he's moving things around, moving things out. I feel like there are bits of things that don't need to be there, like extra things that you're carrying on to that aren't in alignment with your highest truth, that just don't need to be carried and don't need to be filling this space of you. They don't need to be filling this space because they're old, they're expired, they are not relevant anymore. And I see this as like little blocks of wood. They look like a cube shape, and they're quite charred, and these little blocks, all different sizes, that are being taken out of your body, and it's like they've been wedged in between organs that obviously need to be there, but they've been wedged in. So there's little cubes that look like a dice size, and there are larger cubes that look like a Rubik's Cube sort of size, but they're all very charred, and they're all very wooden feeling, but quite charred and quite burned out and quite irrelevant now is the feeling. So he's going in there and he's pulling all these things out, and he's putting them down into a pile on the ground in front of you. And there's quite a decent pile, maybe about a foot high, maybe by about a foot wide, in a sort of dome shape, as they're sort of stacked up in this pile. So just stacking these all up and letting these things go that are irrelevant now. They're not any cause. There's no reason to keep these alive and active within you and within your life. So once these are out now, he's now sending energy all through and around all of your organs, like freshening up. So liquid like blood, or the liquid that flows around your body, which to me has to be blood. It doesn't look like blood. It looks quite clear, but it has to be blood. But anyway, it feels clear, and he's sort of flushing all this out and flushing it, freshening it up as it moves around all of your organs and into your appendages and extremities as well, but especially in this sort of powerhouse, the engine of your body. So this has all been freshened up, and now he closes off the front of your body and just runs his hand down to seal through here, and now he actually withdraws and he steps back, and I can feel it. You can feel him going here, and he steps back, and just offer him our thanks. Okay, now we can look at these crutches or these pins at your shoulders, and I feel that we're ready to remove these. I feel like these are props in some ways that have helped keep you upright when you maybe have struggled to stay upright in different things that you've been going through in your life. And I feel the pin, even though they feel like crutches, they do feel like they have the top of a pin here on top of your shoulders. Now your shoulders tend to be the place where we carry burden. So there's a burden feeling here, but also this pin down, like locking in, helping you remain locked into the reality of your life and your situation, let's say. The tops of the pins feel like flat white discs, and I just feel like I can unwind these. So unwinding these here, they're equal on both sides, and pulling them off. And now we can pull down it feels like a screw or a bolt that comes up from under your arms and into where that top was. So just pulling these down, and as they get pulled down, they go down into the earth. But we're unlocking them from your shoulders, and now we pull them forward a bit and pull them up the front of your body, up out of the earth, and cross them over on top of this pile of sort of charred blocks that have come out of your insides from before energetically. So they're crossed over now like two sticks crossing over white sticks here. This is probably because I'm getting this cross sign. The cross tends to be my sign for a conflict of some sort or some sort of disagreement. So there's probably a strong connection here with that. And I'm seeing an arrow now, like these sticks, these pins, they want to form an arrow, and arrow is about direction and really clearing up and getting clarity on the direction that you're taking next. And I feel like with this energy shifted that we've just sort of pulled out and shifted away, I feel like this is now going to help you feel more clarity with direction. So this little pile of blocks and the sticks here crossed over on the top, I feel like we just need to burn this. So just setting that alight and creating this little fire here just at the front of you to the left, and burning these things. Now as these things burn, I'm feeling a lot of release through the back of the neck. So old suppression issues most likely that you've been carrying, and also more energy shifting through the shoulders. So burdens that you've been carrying, pressure that you've been under as well. And this just quickly burns up and creates just an ash now that sits on the earth, and that now soaks down into the surface of the earth and returns back to love. So that's all now cleared. And now I feel like I can put my legs out and I can stretch out now that there's this pinning has also been restricting in some ways. And there's a bit more flexibility and movement now. And I feel this arrow now reappearing, and the arrow's just pointing here off to the front. It feels white and it feels down on the ground, and it feels like a clear sign to the direction that you're going. And I feel like the direction that you're going, well, it's right in front of you. There's nothing really new that you need to do, I don't feel, except for perhaps, now what is it? Perhaps it's the shift of perspective from the old that was consuming you, perhaps on the inside, and that was pinning you down. A shift in perspective from that into the possibility of new direction opening, because I feel like you want to move forward, and the arrow's right there. I mean, it couldn't be any clearer. It's like what it looks like to me now is bright white stones in the shape of an arrow, and it's just down here right in front of your feet. And the arrow is just the clarity of direction, and you're being shown exactly which way to go, but it's no different from the path you've already started walking on anyway. Like it's literally one little step over and you'd be on the arrow. So I feel like in some ways nothing's much has changed, but in some ways everything has, because now you can see the arrow. Maybe you couldn't see it before because you were pinned down and maybe consumed with whatever was going on, that maybe it was out of view for you. Maybe you couldn't see it, but it's there. It's right there, as clear as anything. So you're on the right path. If you question that, you're on the right path and you're going in the right direction. And right now it feels like a lot of release and a lot of healing is helping support your steps that you're taking forward. And it might just be single, simple steps forward. It doesn't, like, I don't feel the arrow like way ahead, this big, even a big window or a door, which is also my sign of stepping into something new. This feels very much on the ground, and it feels like something that's probably going to be showing itself as you take each step forward in a practical, real way as well. Let's grab another card here, Susan, and see what that wants to add. So nice big breath, and let's go with, to tie this up for you, is this. Okay, we've got one from Healing Energy Cards, Deck 2, Synchronistic Order. Okay, this is interesting. Card 62. It's in the rest category. It says constructed, built, structure, hard work, a durable and stable building. Order, hindsight, looking back, stability and support, things lining up, and signs. Synchronistic order. So this is things syncing up now. This is the synchronicity of things. So I wouldn't be surprised, Susan, if you've had some things that perhaps that I've been talking about that you've been dealing with or that you've been doing that are really syncing up for you. This is a confirmation that things are on track, that things are in order, that things are where they need to be and you're going in the right direction. So you can trust in the signs and the synchronicities and how things are occurring in synchronistic order. As you look back with hindsight, you can see that this happened, that led to this. And actually, I'm really pleased, even though I might not have felt it at the time, that happened because it's led me to whatever it is that might be opening up or revealing at this time. So things are in order, things are synchronizing up. And the more you notice them, the more are going to appear as well. So things feel strong. Things feel strong as you're moving forward. So you can trust in the direction that you are going and that things are on track and that you're being guided along the way. And this is a great message for us all, really. The signs, trust in the signs. And especially if you get a sign 3 times or more, then it's certainly worthy of your attention. So if you're a bit skeptical of the signs, oh, was that real or not? Then another sign will come and another sign will come. So when you get it 3 times, notice it and go in that direction or contemplate that direction and see what that may be telling you. So thanks, Susan. I trust this supports you. Thank you so much for your support. Namaste. Okay, so thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to my patrons who I've connected with today. I'll be back again for our Patron Healing List event for my $15 patrons or higher on Monday. So I look forward to connecting with you then. I don't know what we're going to do until the morning when it all reveals itself to me. So in the meantime, I'll just prepare myself. So thank you so much. If you want to be a patron, you'd like to be a part of this healing event next month, then please have a look on my Patreon page, Temple of Balance on Patreon. You can find the link in the video description. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.